beds and worlds. Now they all are dead, leaving only bones to show us how they looked a long, 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 long time ago. The bones are important. The bones are important. The dinosaurs lived for 140 million years. Some were as tall as 5 building, others were as small as a chicken. Some were fierce hunters, while others were gentle swimmers. For the most part, dinosaurs were peace-loving reptiles who ruled the Earth's prehistoric swamps and forests between 60 and 200 million years ago. And that's a long, long time ago. BP, before people.
That was such a long, 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 long time ago.
The bones are important. The bones are, well, long, 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 long time ago. When life was swampy, when oceans covered all the mountains we now know, the dinosaurs were stomping around. Some ate plants, some ate meat, some flew, some swam to beat the jungle heat. Some ran on 2, others on 4 feet. Some were fast, but some were slow. That was a long, 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 long time ago. The bones are important. The bones are important. The Earth looked a lot different then. Most of the land was covered with water, swamps, and mud. And when the dinosaurs died, their bones would sink and get buried in the mud. After thousands of years, the mud turned to stone, and the bones became pictures in the stone, called fossils. And since nobody ever saw a living dinosaur, everything we know about them, we've learned from these bone pictures. And that's why we keep saying, the bones are important. The bones are important. Dinosaurs were gone before the first man came, but we know quite a lot about them just the same. From the bones and footprints which remain, fossil pictures in the stone of how they looked a long, 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 long time ago. The bones are important. The bones are important. The bones are important. Hey, you want to find dinosaur bones? I know a limestone cave down by the river where we could find some great fossils. Come on, get your stuff. Let's go. Would you like to go fossiling across the field to the sea, along the rocky river edge, or high up in the mountains? We could chip the stones and search for tracks and bones from centuries ago. You know you really ought to go fossiling with me. We could be like great detectives seeking clues out of the past, with our hammers and our chisels, our magnifying glass. Throw your tools in your knapsack, put your sneakers on your feet. Better pack a snack, we won't be back until the sunset peaks. Bring along some string and cloth to wrap up our discoveries. There's a you're waiting, come a fossiling with me. There's a you're waiting, come a fossiling with me. Would you like to go fossiling across the field down to the sea, along the rocky river edge, or high up in the mountains? We could chip the stones and search for tracks and bones from centuries ago. You know you really ought to go fossiling with me. We could be like great detectives seeking clues out of the past, with our hammers and our chisels and our magnifying glass. Throw your tools in your knapsack, put your sneakers on your feet. Better pack a snack, we won't.
Good evening, parents. Good evening and welcome to Valley View School's first grade music program tonight. a pleasure to see so many moms and dads, grand and grandpas, and aunts and uncles come out tonight. We appreciate your enthusiasm and your support for your children. Our first grade show tonight is called Dinosaurs on Parade, and your little dinosaurs have been munching and chomping and flying through the school for the last couple of weeks, probably more like a month, practicing their songs and studying about dinosaurs, doing projects in their class to go along with tonight's theme. So I present to you our first grade at Valley View School, directed by Mrs. Susan Greben, our choral music teacher. Welcome.
As Mrs. McChrystal said, I'm Mrs. Greben, and I'm your child's music teacher here at Valley View School. And if you were wondering where music is, well, we make lots of noise out in that mobile out there in front of the building, and so that's where you can find me if you'd ever like to stop and visit. All of your children come to see me 2 times a week. Now, I did promise the boys and girls one thing before we started the show. I said once it started, we could no longer wave anymore, so this is a chance for everybody to wave at their mom and dad and find them. Ready? Find your mom and dad. There you go. Okay. All right. Are our first graders ready to surprise our moms and dad? Okay, first graders. All right. There's just 2 things before we start the show. If you're thoroughly enjoying yourself this evening, well, we're having a command performance tomorrow at 10 o'clock for some of the students at the school. So if you know a grandma or grandpa, you didn't get the most ideal seat and you'd like to have a more informal performance where you can just run out and take a picture, we will be doing our program tomorrow at 1 o'clock here in the gym. And also, again, if you forgot your video camera or your camera ran out of batteries like mine did this evening, we have a very special person in the back who is taking a video for us. The PTO is spotting this, and we have some forms on the backstage, or you can find them, your child can find the office tomorrow. So please, if you'd like a video, please be off or back on the stage. So at this time, to begin our program, I would like to introduce first Mrs. Stanik's class, who will begin a little informative poem about the dinosaurs.
Waste your time in looking for the long extinct tyrannosaur, because this ancient dinosaur can't be found here anymore. This also goes for Stegosaurus, Allosaurus, Brontosaurus, and any other kind of
Now our first graders from Mrs. Stanik's class would like to add a little bit of humor. So see if you can answer these riddles.
What do you call a dinosaur who left his armor out in the rain? A stegosaurus. Why did the stegosaurus wear his spikes to the party? Because he was a sharp dresser.
Now Mrs. Bentley and Miss Luckner would like to continue our program with our flying dinosaur, the pterodactyl.
I am pterodactyl. I love to fly. With my 10-foot wings, I can soar and slide.
Well, now listen carefully. Maybe by the end of the evening, you'll be able to figure out one of the riddles. This is Mrs. Bentley's pterodactyl.
What did the cloud say as the first pterodactyl took off? Watch that dinosaur. What kind of music does a teenage
they'd like them. All right. Now Mrs. Galis's class has been anxiously awaiting to tell you about our three-horned dinosaur, Triceratops. Well, you guessed it. Here's it from Mrs. Galis's class. As you'll learn in our song, wasn't very smart and he had a very long neck. Mrs. Jackson's class would like about the brontosaurus. All right, Mrs. Jackson's class is ready to tell you another funny joke all about the Brontosaurus.
What kind of dinosaur does a cowboy ride? A Brontosaurus. What do you call a dinosaur that is smart in school? A braintosaurus.
Final dinosaur of the evening, the boys and girls waited and waited and waited for it. We learned all the songs in order, so we had to wait a long time for the most ferocious dinosaur of all, Tyrannosaurus Rex. And Mrs. Backus has like to tell you a little bit about the most ferocious dinosaur of all.
Tyrannosaurus was a beast. He had no friends to say the least. He ruled the ancient out of doors and slaughtered other dinosaurs.
Drum, please come and get their drums. Okay. Don't run. Okay, boys and girls, eyes over here. your very, very last chance. You have not been successful so far on getting those answers. Here's your last chance with our T-Rex riddles with Mrs. Backus's class.
What do you call a dinosaur cowboy? A
Look at Mrs. Pickens.
Made their bills red. Tyrannosaurus Rex.
One of you was pretty proud. They said, I got it. So we had one right answer. To end our show this evening, we're all going to strut our stuff as I'm now ready to present our Dino Band. All right, everybody. Okay, everyone, stand and talk. Thousands of years ago, dinosaurs ruled the land. They plodded through their humdrum lives and snow and mud and sand. But every once in a while, even dinosaurs had some fun. So they drove themselves a party right out in the scorching sun. And to this day, we celebrate the dinosaur way. Your dinosaur knee, wave your dinosaur nose, raise your dinosaur head, and touch your dinosaur nose. Wag your dinosaur tail, now hold your dinosaur face. You do the dinosaur dance. You don't need fancy dresses to strut your stylish stuff. Just do like a Saurus, that's sure to be enough. And don't make fun of your neighbor, cause he's liable to chew you up. Just join the jumping madness, that's what it's all about. Now once again, you gotta get ready, my friend. Lift your dinosaur knees, wiggle your toes, raise your dinosaur hands, and touch your nose. Wag your dinosaur tail, now hold your dinosaur stance. What now? You do the dinosaur dance. Okay, hit it. Lift your dinosaur knees, wiggle your dinosaur toes, raise your dinosaur head, and touch your dinosaur nose. Wag your dinosaur tail, now hold your dinosaur stance. Lift your dinosaur knees, wiggle your dinosaur toes, raise your dinosaur head, and touch your dinosaur nose. Wag your dinosaur tail, now hold your dinosaur stance. You do the dinosaur dance. One more time. One more time. You do the dinosaur dance. We have some pretty wonderful first graders at our venue, so let's give them one more round of applause. Just a few things, one more time. If you'd like to hear another show, tomorrow, 1 o'clock in our gym. Also, our video available, and I'd like you all, please take a little time to look. And we had some wonderful parents who made all of this beautiful animals, including 2 additional ones, Mrs. Baca and Miss Reese. And thank them for making it appear like Dino Land. Have a wonderful vacation, boys and girls. Have a wonderful spring vacation. Please let our children be dismissed to their classrooms. They've been working so hard, and that's where you will find their teachers in their classrooms. Thank you again, and have a wonderful spring vacation.
well, a long, 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 long time ago. Before us, there lived a bunch of special creatures, you know. Dinosaurs, some had great big legs, some had great big heads. They laid great big eggs in their great big beds. Then the whole world changed, now they all are dead. Even left bones to show us how they looked a long, 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 long time ago. The bones are, the bones are Dinosaurs for 140 million years. Some were as tall as a 5-story building, others were as small as a chicken. Some while others were gentle. For the most part, dinosaurs were peaceful rebels who ruled the Earth's forests between 60 and 200 million years ago. It's a long, long time ago. BP, before people.
And that was a long, long, long time ago.
The bones are important. Bones are important. Well, long, 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 long time ago. When life was swampy, when oceans covered all the mountains, we now know the dinosaurs were stomping around. Some ate ants, some ate meat, some swam to beat the jungle, some ran on 4 feet, some were fast, but some slow. That was such a long, 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 long time ago. Bones important. The bones are important. The earth looked a lot different then. Most of the land was covered with water and mud, and when the dinosaurs died, their bones would sink and get buried in mud. After thousands of years, the mud turned to stone, and the bones became pictures in the stone called fossils. And since nobody ever saw a living dinosaur, everything we know about them, we've learned from these boners. And that's why we keep saying, bones important. The bones are important. Dinosaurs were gone before the first man came, but we know about them just the same. From the bones and footprints, which remain figures in the stone, of how they looked a long, 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 long time ago. The bones are important. The bones are important. The bones are important. Hey, you want to go find some stone? I know a limestone cave down where we could find some great fossils. I'll get your stuff. Let's go. Would you like to go sailing across the field down deep, along the rocky river edge, high up in the mountains? We could do this and search for tracks and bones from centuries ago. You know you really ought to go a fossiling with me. We could be like